Why would a female director have to disguise herself as an employee to expose her colleagues? Is someone cheating? Or is there something else hidden? An intriguing story about honesty, kindness, and the hidden corners of the workplace. Stay tuned to find out the answer. Don't forget to leave a comment sharing your thoughts and subscribe to the channel to stay updated with our latest videos, because the truth deserves to be told. The fluorescent lights of the Global Mart headquarters hummed a monotonous tune, a soundtrack to the ceaseless activity within. Eleanor Vance, CEO of the sprawling supermarket empire, sat perched on the edge of her impeccably organized office, a half-eaten blueberry muffin growing stale on her desk. The panoramic view of the city skyline, usually a source of inspiration, seemed to blur and fade as her gaze remained fixed on the swirling patterns of the Persian rug beneath her feet. Eleanor was a force of nature, a woman of sharp intellect, unwavering determination, and a vision that had propelled Global Mart from a single neighborhood store to a regional powerhouse. Yet beneath the polished exterior and the steely resolve, a disquiet had taken root. Success, it seemed, had come at a cost. The quarterly reports were glowing. Sales figures were climbing, market share was expanding, and investors were ecstatic. But Eleanor felt a growing disconnect, a sense that the numbers, while impressive, were failing to tell the full story. They spoke of profits and percentages, of inventory turnover and customer demographics, but they didn't speak of the feeling of Global Mart. They didn't capture the pulse of the stores, the interactions between employees and customers, the subtle nuances that made a shopping experience either satisfying or disappointing. Eleanor remembered the early days when Global Mart was her passion project, not just a business. She had known her employees by name, shared stories with her customers, and felt the direct connection between her efforts and the positive impact on her community. She had worked alongside her team, stocking shelves at dawn, ringing up purchases with a smile, and listening to the feedback, both positive and negative, that helped her refine and improve. Now, her days were filled with board meetings, strategic planning sessions, and investor presentations. Her interactions were filtered through layers of management. Her understanding of the customer experience gleaned from carefully curated focus groups and sanitized surveys. She felt like she was losing touch with the very essence of her business, the human element that had been the cornerstone of Global Mart's success. The unease gnawed at her. She worried that the relentless focus on growth and profit was overshadowing the importance of customer satisfaction and employee well-being. She feared that the company she had built on a foundation of personal connection was becoming just another faceless corporation, driven by algorithms and spreadsheets. That evening, as the city lights twinkled like a scattered constellation outside her office window, Eleanor found herself drawn to a box of old photographs tucked away in a corner. She pulled it out and sat on the floor, the memories flooding back with each image she held in her hands. There was a picture of her and her small team, crammed into the tiny stockroom of the original Global Mart, their faces beaming with exhaustion and pride after a particularly busy day. There was a photo of her shaking hands with a loyal customer, a woman who had been shopping at her store since it opened. There was a snapshot of her laughing with her employees at the annual company picnic, a reminder of the strong bond they shared. As she looked at the faces in the photos, Eleanor felt a wave of longing. She missed the camaraderie, the direct connection with her customers, the feeling of being part of something real and meaningful. She realized that she couldn't rely on reports and surveys to understand what was truly happening in her stores. She needed to experience it for herself. The idea, at first, seemed outlandish, but the more Eleanor considered it, the more compelling it became. She would go undercover, disguising herself as a regular employee and work in one of her stores. She would become Beth, a woman seeking a fresh start in the retail industry. The plan was audacious, even risky, but Alina was determined. She knew it was the only way to truly understand the challenges and triumphs of her employees, to experience the customer journey firsthand, and to rediscover the passion that had driven her to build Global Mart in the first place. She spent the next few days meticulously preparing for her undercover mission. She created a believable backstory for Beth, complete with a fabricated resume and references. She traded her designer wardrobe for more practical and unassuming attire. She even practiced her customer service skills, brushing up on her product knowledge and rehearsing common customer interactions. The day before her mission began, Alina stood before her full-length mirror, scrutinizing her reflection. The polished CEO, with her perfectly tailored suits and impeccable makeup, was gone. In her place stood Beth, a woman who looked like she could be anyone, someone who could blend in and observe without drawing attention. A mixture of excitement and trepidation filled her. She was about to embark on a journey into the unknown, a journey that would challenge her assumptions and reshape her perspective. She didn't know what she would find, but she was ready to face it, whatever it might be. She was ready to reconnect with the heart of her business, to rediscover the passion that had fueled her dreams. She was ready to become Beth. The biting Chicago wind whipped at Alina's face as she stepped off the bus, a shiver running down her spine despite the layers of clothing she'd donned. The Global Mart store loomed before her, a sprawling behemoth of glass and steel, its brightly lit interior a stark contrast to the gray cityscape. This was it, her first day undercover. A knot of nervous energy tightened in her stomach. She reminded herself to breathe, to embrace the role of Beth, the unassuming woman seeking a fresh start. Taking a deep breath, she straightened her shoulders and walked through the automatic doors, the whoosh of air a welcome blast of warmth. The store was a hive of activity. Shoppers bustled through the aisles, their carts overflowing with groceries. Employees in their bright green vests restocked shelves, assisted customers, and manned the checkout lanes. The air buzzed with the low hum of refrigerators, the chatter of conversations, and the beeping of scanners. It was a symphony of retail, a world Alina hadn't truly experienced from the ground level in years. She made her way to the customer service desk, where a harried-looking woman with a name tag that read Brenda directed her to the break room. "Just wait there," Brenda said, not even making eye contact. "Someone will be with you shortly." The break room was small and sparsely furnished, smelling faintly of stale coffee and microwaved lunches. Beth took a seat at a chipped formica table, trying to calm her nerves. She observed the other employees, some chatting animatedly, others slumped in chairs, looking exhausted. This was the real Global Mart, the place where the work got done, away from the polished presentations and corporate jargon. After what felt like an eternity, a young man with a friendly smile and bright blue eyes entered the break room. "You must be Beth," he said, extending his hand. "I'm Liam. I'll be showing you the ropes today." Liam's easygoing demeanor put Beth at ease. He explained the store's layout, the register system, and the company's customer service policies. He spoke with genuine enthusiasm about his job, which surprised Beth. She had expected cynicism or weariness, but Liam seemed genuinely happy to be there. "So, what brings you to Global Mart, Beth?" Liam asked as they walked towards the checkout area. Beth had rehearsed her backstory carefully. "I'm looking for a stable job," she replied. "I've always enjoyed working with people, and I thought this would be a good fit." Liam nodded. "It can be challenging at times, but it's also rewarding. You meet all sorts of people, and you can really make a difference in their day." Beth was impressed by Liam's positive attitude. She watched as he interacted with customers, greeting each one with a warm smile and a friendly hello. He seemed to genuinely care about their needs, offering helpful suggestions and going the extra mile to assist them. One elderly woman was struggling to reach a can of soup on the top shelf. Without hesitation, Liam grabbed a nearby step stool and retrieved the can for her. "Thank you, young man," the woman said, her voice filled with gratitude. "You're a lifesaver." "It's my pleasure," Liam replied, his smile genuine. Beth realized that Liam wasn't just going through the motions. He truly cared about providing excellent customer service. He treated each customer with respect and kindness, no matter how big or small their purchase. Later in the day, a customer became agitated when she discovered that an item she had purchased was on sale the following week. She started to raise her voice, complaining loudly about the price difference. Beth braced herself for a difficult confrontation. But Liam handled the situation with remarkable poise. He listened patiently to the customer's complaint, acknowledging her frustration. He then calmly explained the store's policy on price adjustments and offered her a solution that satisfied her. The customer, who had initially been angry, left the store feeling heard and respected. Beth was amazed by Liam's ability to diffuse a potentially volatile situation. She noticed that he never lost his cool, never became defensive. He simply listened, empathized, and found a way to resolve the issue. It was a masterclass in customer service, and Beth was taking mental notes. As the day wore on, Beth continued to observe Liam's interactions with customers. She noticed his attention to detail, his ability to remember regular customers' names and preferences, and his genuine interest in their lives. He wasn't just a cashier, he was a friendly face, a trusted advisor, a part of the community. During a lull in the afternoon, Beth had a chance to chat with Liam while he was restocking his checkout lane. "You're really good with the customers," she said. "You seem to know a lot of them." Liam chuckled. "Yeah, I've been working here for a few years now. You get to know people, their families, their routines. It's nice to feel like you're part of something bigger than just a transaction." Beth was struck by his words. Liam's job wasn't just a job to him. It was a connection to his community. He found meaning in his work, not just in the paycheck, but in the relationships he built with his customers. As the day drew to a close, Beth reflected on her first impressions. The store was indeed busy and demanding, but she had also witnessed moments of genuine connection and kindness. She had seen firsthand the positive impact that a single employee could have on a customer's day. And she had met Liam, a young man who embodied the values that Alina had once held so dear. She realized that her undercover mission was already proving to be more insightful than she could have imagined. She was starting to see Global Mart through a new lens, a lens that focused not just on profits and percentages, but on the human element that made the business truly thrive. She was beginning to understand the heart of Global Mart, and it was beating stronger than she had dared to hope. The midday rush at Global Mart was a force of nature. A relentless tide of shoppers flowed through the aisles, their carts piled high with groceries, their faces a mixture of hurriedness and mild frustration. Beth, now thoroughly immersed in her role as a cashier, scanned items with practiced efficiency, her fingers flying across the keyboard. Beside her, Liam worked his usual magic, charming customers with his easy smile and helpful demeanor. Suddenly, a flicker on the small monitor above Liam's checkout lane caught Beth's eye. The image from the security camera, usually a steady presence, was now distorted, a jumble of static and flickering lines. "Liam," she whispered, nodding towards the screen. "The camera's acting up." Liam glanced at the monitor, his brow furrowing slightly. "Yeah, that's not good," he muttered. He knew the importance of the security cameras, not just for loss prevention, but also for reconciling cash drawers and verifying transactions in case of disputes. A malfunctioning camera could create a real headache, especially during peak hours. "I'll let Brenda know," he said, excusing himself from his customer. He walked quickly to the customer service desk, where Brenda was now juggling phone calls and customer inquiries with her usual air of controlled chaos. Liam explained the situation, and Brenda sighed. "Of course, it would happen now," she said, rubbing her temples. "We've been having trouble with the system lately. I'll put in a work order, but who knows when they'll be able to get someone out here." Liam knew that waiting for a technician wasn't an option. The store was packed, and the malfunctioning camera could lead to discrepancies and confusion. He returned to his checkout lane, a thoughtful expression on his face. "Brenda's putting in a work order," he told Beth, "but it might be a while. We need to figure out a way to manage in the meantime." Beth, remembering her own corporate training, suggested keeping a manual log of all transactions. Liam nodded. "Good idea," he said. "We'll also need to be extra careful with the cash drawers, double-checking everything." They worked together, devising a system to track each transaction, noting the customer's name, the items purchased, and the total amount. It was a tedious process, but they knew it was essential to maintain accuracy and prevent any problems later on. The rush intensified as the lunch hour approached. Customers lined up at the checkout lanes, their patience wearing thin. The malfunctioning camera added an extra layer of stress to the already hectic environment. Beth could feel the tension in the air, the unspoken concern that something might go wrong. Liam, however, remained calm and collected. He moved with practiced efficiency, scanning items, bagging groceries, and processing payments. He kept the line moving, all the while maintaining his friendly demeanor. He apologized to customers for the slight delay caused by the manual logging process, explaining the situation with honesty and transparency. "We're having a little trouble with our security system," he would say with a reassuring smile, "but we're doing our best to get everyone through quickly and accurately." His calm reassurance seemed to have a soothing effect on the customers. They appreciated his honesty and his efforts to minimize the inconvenience. Even the most impatient shoppers seemed to relax a little in his presence. Beth was impressed by Liam's ability to handle the pressure. He didn't let the malfunctioning camera throw him off his game. He remained focused, organized, and committed to providing excellent customer service. He was a true professional, even under challenging circumstances. At one point, a customer's credit card was declined. The customer became flustered, embarrassed by the situation. Liam handled the situation with sensitivity and discretion. He spoke quietly to the customer, offering alternative payment options without drawing unnecessary attention. He treated the customer with respect and empathy, turning a potentially awkward moment into a positive interaction. Beth realized that Liam's strength wasn't just his technical skills or his efficiency. It was his character, his unwavering commitment to honesty and integrity. He was trusted by his colleagues and his customers because he was a man of principle. He did the right thing, even when it was difficult, even when no one was watching. As the rush subsided, Beth and Liam reviewed their transaction logs, meticulously comparing them to the cash drawer totals. Everything balanced perfectly. Despite the malfunctioning camera and the added pressure, they had managed to maintain accuracy and efficiency. Brenda, looking relieved, approached them. "You two did a great job," she said. "I was worried things might get out of hand, but you handled it perfectly." Liam shrugged modestly. "It was a team effort," he said. "Beth was a big help." Beth smiled. She knew that Liam was the real hero of the day. He had demonstrated leadership, resilience, and an unwavering commitment to his customers and his colleagues. He had turned a potentially disastrous situation into an opportunity to showcase his professionalism and integrity. He had proven that even in the face of adversity, the heart of Global Mart, the human connection, could prevail. The hum of the Global Mart store had become a familiar backdrop to Beth's, Eleanor's days. The initial novelty of her undercover role had worn off, replaced by a deep appreciation for the hard work and dedication of the employees. She had seamlessly integrated into the team, learning the rhythms of the store, the quirks of the regular customers, and the inside jokes shared amongst her colleagues. But it was Liam, the ever-smiling cashier, who continued to capture her attention. His kindness was a constant. It wasn't just the polite greetings and efficient service he provided to every customer. It was the little things, the way he helped an elderly woman carry her groceries to her car, the patience he showed with a frustrated parent trying to wrangle a toddler, the genuine concern he displayed when a colleague was having a bad day. Liam's empathy seemed to radiate outwards, creating a positive ripple effect in the sometimes chaotic environment of the supermarket. Beth found herself drawn to Liam's quiet strength. He never complained, never gossiped, never participated in the petty dramas that occasionally unfolded in the break room. He simply focused on his work, always striving to do his best, always ready to lend a hand. There was a resilience about him, a sense that he had faced challenges and emerged stronger. One slow afternoon, during a rare lull in customer traffic, Beth found herself chatting with Liam near the magazine rack. "You've been working here for a while, haven't you?" she asked, trying to steer the conversation towards his background. Liam nodded. "Yeah, a few years now. It's been a journey." He hesitated, as if unsure whether to share more. Beth, sensing his reticence, simply smiled encouragingly. "Everyone has a story," she said gently. Liam looked at her, his bright blue eyes reflecting a hint of sadness. "Mine's a bit complicated," he admitted. He then proceeded to tell Beth, in fragments and with a touch of self-deprecating humor, about his life. He had grown up in a working-class neighborhood, raised by his single mother. His father had left when he was young, leaving them to struggle financially. Liam had started working part-time jobs as a teenager to help support his family, juggling school with long hours at the local diner and delivering newspapers before dawn. "It wasn't easy," he said, "but we managed. My mom always told me that hard work and kindness are the most important things in life." Beth was touched by his story. She recognized the same values she had tried to instill in her own company: the importance of perseverance, integrity, and compassion. Liam's words resonated with her, reminding her of the core principles that had driven her to build Global Mart. He went on to explain how he had worked his way up from bagging groceries to becoming a cashier, taking pride in every step of the way. He spoke about his dreams of going to college someday, but acknowledged that it was a long-term goal, given his current responsibilities. "I'm saving up," he said with a determined glint in his eyes. "I want to study business management. I figure if I'm going to be working in retail, I might as well learn how to do it right." Beth was deeply impressed by Liam's ambition. He wasn't just content with his current situation. He was constantly striving to improve himself, to learn and grow. He had a vision for his future, and he was willing to work hard to achieve it. As they talked, Beth noticed a subtle shift in Liam's demeanor. He seemed more relaxed, more open. He shared anecdotes about his customers, his colleagues, and the funny things that happened in the store. He spoke with a genuine affection for the people he worked with, even the ones who sometimes drove him crazy. Beth realized that Liam was more than just a cashier. He was a vital part of the Global Mart community, a person who connected with others on a human level, who brought warmth and positivity to the workplace. He was a role model for his colleagues, a testament to the power of hard work and kindness. That evening, as Beth drove home, she reflected on her conversation with Liam. She was struck by his humility, his resilience, and his unwavering optimism. He had faced adversity, but he hadn't let it define him. He had chosen to focus on the positive, to find joy in his work, and to make a difference in the lives of others. Beth realized that Liam was an outstanding employee, not just because of his skills and efficiency, but because of his character. He was a valuable person, someone who embodied the values that Alina Vance, the CEO, held so dear. He was the kind of person who made Global Mart more than just a supermarket. He made it a place where people felt valued, respected, and connected. And in that moment, Beth knew that her undercover mission was revealing something truly special, something that no report or spreadsheet could ever capture. She was discovering the heart of Global Mart, and it was beating strong in the chest of a young cashier named Liam Miller. The final days of Beth's, Eleanor's, undercover mission flew by in a blur of ringing cash registers, overflowing shopping carts, and the constant hum of the Global Mart store. She had learned more than she could have ever imagined, witnessing firsthand the challenges and triumphs of her employees, experiencing the customer journey from a completely new perspective. She had seen the good, the bad, and the occasionally chaotic, but through it all, the resilience and kindness of her team shone through. And Liam had become more than just a cashier to her. He represented the very best of Global Mart, a living embodiment of the values she had strived to instill in her company. The time had come for her to reveal herself. Alina knew she couldn't prolong the charade any longer. She needed to thank her team, especially Liam, for their hard work and dedication. She needed to show them that their efforts were valued, that their voices were heard. She gathered the employees in the break room after closing, a nervous flutter in her stomach. They looked at her expectantly, some with curiosity, others with weariness. Beth, the unassuming new employee, was about to disappear, and Alina Vance, the CEO, was about to step forward. Taking a deep breath, she began. "I have something to tell you all," she said, her voice slightly trembling. "My name isn't Beth. I'm Alina Vance, the CEO of Global Mart." A collective gasp filled the room. Faces registered shock, disbelief, and a touch of apprehension. Liam's eyes widened in surprise, his jaw slightly dropping. Brenda, the customer service manager, looked as if she might faint. Alina continued, her voice gaining strength as she spoke from the heart. "I've been working undercover here for the past few weeks, wanting to experience Global Mart from your perspective. I wanted to see firsthand what you do, the challenges you face, and the incredible work you do every single day." She looked around the room, meeting the gaze of each employee. "I've been truly impressed by your dedication, your professionalism, and your commitment to our customers. You are the heart of Global Mart, the reason we are successful." Her gaze settled on Liam. "Liam," she said, her voice softening, "your kindness and your work ethic are truly inspiring. I've watched how you interact with our customers, how you handle difficult situations, how you always go the extra mile. You are an exceptional employee and an even more exceptional person." Liam shifted uncomfortably, a blush creeping up his neck. "Thank you, Miss Vance," he mumbled. "Please call me Alina," she said with a warm smile. "I mean it. Your dedication hasn't gone unnoticed. In fact, it's been quite the opposite. Your actions during the camera malfunction incident were particularly impressive. Your quick thinking and calm demeanor averted what could have been a very difficult situation." Alina then announced that Liam would be receiving a significant bonus and a promotion to assistant store manager. A ripple of applause went through the room. Liam looked stunned, his eyes shining with disbelief. "But that's not all," Alina continued. "I've also been incredibly moved by your story, Liam. Your hard work, your determination to support your family, and your dream of going to college. It's truly admirable. Global Mart believes in investing in our employees, and we want to help you achieve your goals." Alina announced that the company would be setting up an educational fund in Liam's name, covering his tuition and expenses when he was ready to pursue his degree. The room erupted in cheers, and Liam was speechless, tears welling up in his eyes. Alina then addressed the rest of the team. She acknowledged their concerns and frustrations, promising to address the issues they had raised during her time undercover. She spoke about the need for better communication, improved training, and a more supportive work environment. She emphasized that their feedback was invaluable and that she was committed to making Global Mart a better place to work for everyone. The atmosphere in the break room had shifted. The initial shock had given way to a sense of hope and renewed enthusiasm. The employees felt heard, valued, and appreciated. They realized that Alina Vance, the CEO, wasn't just a figurehead in a distant office. She was a real person, someone who cared about her employees and was genuinely invested in their well-being. The story of Alina and Liam spread like wildfire through the company. It became a symbol of the positive change that was possible when leadership listened to its employees and recognized their contributions. It reminded everyone that even in a large corporation, human connection mattered, kindness mattered, and hard work mattered. As Alina left the store that evening, she felt a sense of fulfillment she hadn't experienced in years. Her undercover mission had been a success, not just because she had gathered valuable information, but because she had reconnected with the heart of her business. She had rediscovered the passion that had driven her to build Global Mart, and she was more determined than ever to create a company that truly valued its employees and its customers. She knew that the future of Global Mart was bright, not because of the numbers on a spreadsheet, but because of the people who walked through its doors every day, the people like Liam Miller, who embodied the very best of what Global Mart could be. The story of Alina and Liam serves as a powerful reminder that kindness and integrity are always rewarded. Liam, a young man from a humble background, consistently goes out of his way to help those around him, from customers to colleagues. He is a diligent and conscientious worker, always prioritizing the company's best interests. Liam's kindness extends beyond simple everyday actions. It's evident in how he handles challenges. When the security camera malfunctions, he doesn't panic or place blame. Instead, he calmly seeks solutions, ensuring that every transaction is accurate and that customers aren't inconvenienced. Liam's integrity is another admirable trait. He doesn't exploit the malfunctioning camera for personal gain. Instead, he works honestly and transparently, earning the trust and respect of those around him. This story also illustrates that true success often lies in the hands of those who quietly contribute, consistently helping others and upholding integrity. Alina, a successful CEO, doesn't hesitate to go undercover to learn about her company from the ground up. She recognizes the intrinsic value of employees like Liam, individuals who work not just with skill, but also with heart and unwavering honesty.